Can Jason really be brought back from his grave? Today we're looking at Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning by NECA. Hey, what's shaking? What's baking? Welcome to Hero City Toy Reviews. Today we are looking at the 2018 figure from NECA, Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning, Jason Voorhees Ultimate Figure. Of course, the original movie was released in 1985, so it's about 40 years old. And NECA made a bunch of these Jason figures. It's hard to keep track of all of them. There's issues and reissues. This one is released in 2018. Of course, it's from the movie Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning, like I said, in 1985. This is where a young, now a teenage Tommy Jarvis, who thought he killed Jason, lives in a halfway house. And when people around the halfway house begin to get killed, he believes Jason has returned. However, of course, it's revealed that the killer is not Jason. It's someone using Jason's identity and costume. And it's in fact a character called Roy Burns. And a quick look at the box here, guys. Nice artwork, classic 80s horror artwork on the front. With Friday the 13th, the mask, and the teenage boy believed to be Tommy Jarvis right on the front cover. Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. There's the top with a cool Jason mask. The side with Jason in action there. Same on that side. Jason's grave, of course, there. Jason in the grave, him holding an axe, a machete, and the cool old school hockey goalie mask. Of course, the cover opens up, and we have him in all his glory inside the box there with all his accessories. Let's get this guy opened up and have a closer look. All right, there he is out of the box. The first thing that stands out to me immediately, and I'll show you guys, this is the 2020 release. So this was the reissue after the 2018. There you go. So normally this one, I guess they want to show his face. And like most Jason figures that I've opened up, they do have a detachable mask. The extra masks with this guy are an entire head. The masks are not detachable, so you have to replace the head. But anyways, let's get going. Let's look through his accessories first. Of course, he's got a nice bloody axe there that he uses frequently in the movie, which is kind of cool. He's got the hand, gripping hand that he can hold it with. And we'll move on from there. A classic Jason machete there. Very nice detailed on the handle. And interesting on this one, he's got a nice pick, which is kind of cool. Right there with a cool handle. And an extra hand. So he's got an extra hand, looks like it's been sliced up there. It's been cut. You can see that, which is a nice detail there. And 3 different heads with 3 different masks. So my favorite's got to be the classic hockey goalie mask right here. This looks like an old one from the 70s, 80s, I guess. Very cool mask there with the red eyes. More traditional Jason there. And of course, you can see this one's kind of cool too. It shows you some of his bloody head. And looks like he's got a nice slice to the mask on this one. Damaged masks, as does this one actually. And you can see that there. So this is like, I guess, when he's beginning, because this mask looks brand new, hasn't been touched. So this is before he's in any actual fights, I guess. And a very cool tombstone where Jason was buried. Right there, just a couple planks of wood, some dirt, and some spray painted name there. And the back looks like the boards have been nailed together, so that's a nice detail there. Let's have a closer look at this guy. We'll remove the machete for now. So you see his face there. Of course, he's been buried for a while. You can see all that nasty stuff coming out of his eyes. Kind of gross, but cool detail regardless. Looks very good. Now there's his clothing. Again, NECA's always good with the detail, the wrinkles, and looks dirty and everything else. Very nicely done. Here's the back of his head with all that stuff. I don't know if that's veins or stuff from the ground or what's going on there, but good detail either way. Again, good details in the clothing here. Pretty simple. Just a button-up shirt and some pants, of course. Looks all dirtied and scuffed up from being buried and starting to decompose. You can see his pretty ugly fingers there, those messed up nails. And the other hand is a fist, a gripping fist right there. So let's have a look at articulation. Okay, let's start with his head, side to side, of course, up and down, arms up, usual. Stretch up that way, not all the way, but almost. Elbows bend, of course, wrists side to side. There you go. Same with this guy. The bend at the waist, pretty good. You can see that there. Knees bend all the way. And his feet only really move just a tiny bit. No up and down, just side to side, very little. Just a little bit. So now let's look and let's compare the figures. So let's compare this one to the 2020. Okay, so they are side by side. You can see right away the difference in suits, or in clothing. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie, but I believe he shows up in Tommy's Nightmares dressed like this, but he's actually dressed like this when he's actually doing what Jason does. I think that's why there's a difference. I could be wrong. If you guys know, just leave me a comment and let me know. So right off the bat, you see the difference in mask. Of course, this one has the nice blue stripes there. This one's supposed to be the one that's buried and shows up in his nightmares, like I said. This appears to be more of a one-piece monkey suit, mechanic suit. And this one's got a shirt and pants, right? So, and like I showed you before, the mask comes off this guy. And you see that that's Roy Burns, who's actually pretending to be Jason, which is a really cool figure. So you kind of got two figures in one here, which I like. So that's the reason for that. But I like the masks that come on and off and you replace them. But I mean, you can't go wrong with extra heads as well. This guy got 3 extra heads that you can change and make them look different. Let's see how easy that is to do. Pretty easy, comes right off. Let's put this one on, which I think is really cool. Let's see how easy this is to do. Not bad. Just don't be careful and try not to break it. And there's Jason right there. Very cool. So, very good figure. Again, NECA, and makes good quality horror figures. What can I say? I do like their horror line. They're really good at what they do. So they look pretty good. So let's measure them now. So this guy, about 6.5 inches. This guy, same, 6.5 inches, more or less. Just a little bit less than half. But basically the same figure in terms of size. So overall, great figure. Again, there are so many of these to keep track of. I don't have all of them. I don't know if you need to own all of them. There's so many reissues and it's hard to keep track of which one's which. But one thing I do know, if you look at the bottom of the boxes here and you look at the lot numbers, usually the last 2 digits are the year they came out. So as you can see, the one I opened today, 2018, and the other one was 2020. That's how you can kind of tell if you look at those lot numbers. Cool little trick for the NECA collector if you didn't know. I just found that out recently. So, all right, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the review. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.